NASCAR Race Hub, exclusively on Speed.
Cale, what was going through your mind those last few laps? You were basically the David taking on Goliath down there in Homestead.
You know, we actually had a red flag right before the green-white checkered there, and just sitting there under red. And previous run before that, we were able to make up a lot of ground. Knew I'd be restarting against Kyle there, which is best in the business. And to be able to come down to the last race and have a chance to be able to win was definitely a dream come true.
While you were celebrating in Victory Lane at Homestead last year, did you know at the time you would not have a full-time ride for 2013?
Well, I didn't necessarily know for sure. I knew I had a pretty good, feeling that I wouldn't have an opportunity to be able to run full-time this year. So I knew going into Homestead that it might be my last race, and it could have been my last race for a long time. So definitely had that feeling going into that event.
You're now working as the crew chief for Brandon Jones for Turner Scott's K&N E-Series team. What is it like knowing that you're helping mentor these young drivers who, in a couple of years, could be competing for the same rides in both the Nationwide and Camping World Truck Series as you?
Obviously, I've been around racing my whole life, so I've been around race cars a bunch, and I've always been intrigued on what makes them go fast and what does what on the suspension, and to be able to help young drivers coming up in the sport and try to help them through some of the things that you've learned or you've been taught through other drivers. To help speed their learning curve up. I enjoy that, and I enjoy working on race cars and being around them and being around people that enjoy working on race cars. It's a lot of fun, and it beats the heck out of doing anything else, to be honest.
Recently, we had the opportunity to join you at Bowman Gray Stadium, a famous track up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. What does it say about you and your family that even though you're not running at the level that you're accustomed to, you still go out and build a late model and you compete together on a short track on a weekly basis?
It's just in our blood, it's what we do. We've had the opportunity to win on some pretty cool racetracks, and to be able to win a race at Bowman Gray was pretty cool too.
You and your wife Jennifer are expecting your first child in September, so congratulations. What is having a child and becoming a father do to your plans as a driver in your future?
Well, we just found out a couple of weeks ago that's going to be a little boy, so obviously, I'm the third-generation racer in my family, and we'll see what he wants to do, but I feel like it'll probably be in his blood maybe to get behind the wheel of a car. And, whatever happens for me as a race car driver from this day forward is a blessing. I would like to be able to race more. At that level, I feel like I could be a competitive driver in whatever I choose to race. But whatever comes forward, I've was able to win a truck race and felt like at times I had some success, and I felt like everything we work for is, what happened in Homestead last year was definitely a dream come true for myself, and like I said, for a lot of people behind me and my family, and so anything that comes after this is a blessing.
So what does the future hold for Cale Gale?
Well, hopefully, we'll working with Brandon this year. We'll get him a few checkered flags this year. He's going to be running a few more K&N races. We're running the full-time UARA deal. Hopefully, we'll get him a couple checkered flags and maybe win us a few more races at Bowman Gray, and maybe towards the end of the season, maybe you see us back in the Camping World Truck Series a little bit. We'll have to see and see what happens.